Hello and welcome. I'm Nancy Schill. I am a professional coach, and recently I'm a new cancer survivor. Recently finished my treatment for breast cancer. Today we're going to explore ways that we can have a healthy attitude to lessen the horrible aspects of diagnosis and treatment for cancer. So today, that's what I want to speak to you about, facing cancer with a healthy attitude. And as I share information, here's something to keep in mind. I'm going to share things with you today that I've practiced, things that I've heard others do that are helpful, and things I've learned. I'm trying to put information and activities together for you to make this awful journey of diagnosis and treatment for cancer more bearable and less daunting. But really, it's up to you to apply the strategies. It is up to you to try to learn the information that I'm going to present today or other healthful habits for yourself, and then practice them. Develop the practices that are going to be supportive and beneficial to you. If you would pause your video for a moment, go ahead and get some paper and a pen out or something to write, or maybe you're going to record on your computer or a phone, but get something to document with because you will be actively participating today. To get what you can out of this workshop, you will need to be active and participate and write things down. Another thing to think about, if you would like to know more about my journey, this is not really about my journey. I'll share stories with you today. But if you would like more information about my journey with cancer or resources that I use, you can go to www.coachingforcancer.net and learn more about my experience there. Okay, let's jump into things. Today we're going to do a variety of activities together and learn ways to enhance our attitude and thereby help to thrive through cancer diagnosis and journey. We're going to start with, we're going to take a pulse of our attitude today. We're also going to do a mindful body scan. Then we will explore what attitude is, why it's important, cancer and attitude. How does our attitude interplay with cancer? We're going to explore attitude being a choice and positive choices that we can make. We will look at healthy emotional attitude, a healthy physical attitude, and then healthy support for us during our journey with cancer. And then there will be a mind map action plan for you in going forward. So coming into the workshop today, let's take a quick attitude pulse. Take a moment to think about your attitude today. How do you feel? How are you feeling? Here's a scale to help you rate your attitude. Are you feeling pessimistic today? Discouraged, doubtful, hopeful, optimistic, confident? Are you feeling great today? Go ahead and rate yourself. Also, it's important as we go into the workshop today to set your intention. The intention you set will help guide what you're going to get out of today's workshop. And for example, if you watch this workshop again in 3 months, you may have a different intention to get something different out of it then. But you can write down, what do you want to get out of this workshop today? So as I'm going along talking about the many things I'm going to talk about, you will know, hey, this is a piece I need, this is a piece I want. Also, what are you willing to be responsible for today? And at the introduction, I shared with you that the actions you take are yours. All that I can do is try to share information with you, but what do you want to do? So if you would, you can pause your video and take a minute or two to rate your attitude and then also to record your intention for yourself. Mindfulness activities have a positive effect on both our emotional and our physical states. So today we're going to take a few minutes and do a mindful body scan. If you will, I don't know if you have your video, your paper and pen with you, but go ahead and take a moment, put those down, and then we'll go ahead and get comfortable in your seat. As you're sitting there comfortably, go ahead and close your eyes, get comfortable in your chair with your feet resting on the ground, your hands resting in your lap, palms facing up. Through the exercise, sit very still. If you need to adjust, move with awareness. As we begin, notice your breath coming in and out of your nose as your lungs fill up with air and then the air gently expels from your lungs. Notice your feet, how they feel on the ground. Do they feel heavy? Just notice what you feel. Now move your awareness to your legs. How do they feel against your chair? If you have any discomfort, just observe it. There you are. And move your awareness back to your legs. Notice your stomach, your back, your chest. Notice the sensation of the air filling in your lungs, moving through your body, and being dispelled from your lungs, fresh oxygen going to all the limbs. Move your awareness to your shoulders. Notice how they feel. Just notice and observe. There are no shoulds here. You do not need to judge anything you feel. We're just observing every sensation we feel in our body. Notice how your arms feel and your hands. Move your awareness up to your neck, then your jaw. Notice how your eyes feel resting in their sockets. How do your ears feel on the sides of your face? How does the skin feel on your face? Notice the sensation in your forehead and your scalp. Now take a moment to let it all sink in. When you feel ready to come back to the room, bring your awareness here and slowly open your eyes. So the body scan that we have just done is one mindful activity. And it's an example of something that we can do to positively support our emotional and our physical health. You can do this all on your own, all by yourself, anytime you want. I'll talk more about that in a little while. But what is attitude, and why is it important? Attitude is a way of thinking or feeling that characterizes us and influences our behavior. Attitude, it comes from our experiences, and it also affects our state of mind, and it forms our expressions or the way we interact towards others or other people or things, and it drives our thoughts and actions. Attitude is very powerful. It colors our view of things and determines how we think and what we do. So that is why today, in dealing with a diagnosis of cancer or dealing with treatment of cancer, our attitude is critical. Now, for why we're all here, cancer. And what are the benefits of a healthy attitude with cancer? What do you think? Some people have said, if you don't have a positive attitude, you can get caught up in all the bad things about it, or be sad or depressed. I think that it's an important reason why our health, having a healthy attitude is so critically important. But here are some other reasons or thoughts to think about why a healthy attitude is so important in dealing with cancer. When we have a healthy attitude, we're focusing on fighting cancer. We're focusing on living. We're focusing on beating cancer. We're not focusing on our symptoms. When we have a healthy attitude, we're focusing on what we can control. You know, and cancer is one of those things that is just a huge slap in the face for people of, hello, you're not in control here. This has happened to you and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, it happened. Obviously, there are things we can do about it. But we can't go back and not get cancer. I mean, we can't go backwards. But what we can do is we can control our attitude, okay? And, you know, again, other reasons why in dealing with cancer is so important, you know, that the diagnosis of cancer is the reminder that we're mortal, you know? And that we can't control everything, but we can control our attitude. So with a healthy attitude, we are focusing on nurturing and strengthening our bodies, which is so vital at this time. We're also focusing on being hopeful and being courageous. And certainly, the journey for cancer diagnosis is a marathon and requires us to be brave and fight. When we have a healthy attitude, hopefully we're connecting with more people and we're building deeper connections. We're kind of put in a position. We've got new doctors. We've got people, family or friends contacting us. Maybe your neighbors are contacting you. Or maybe you're suggested to go talk to people. Maybe HR at your job is coming to talk to you. So this puts us in a position to connect with more people and build deeper connections. But we can be selective in how we do this because certain people we maybe want to be close to, others we don't want to. But all of these reasons help us battle cancer and help us to grow positively, okay? So the cancer is going to change us. Having cancer and being diagnosed, you're definitely going to change. But we can also change positively. That's up to us. So, attitude determines your direction. I love this one. Where are we going to go today? How do we feel about attitude? Attitude is everything. It's everything. I've got another slide later I'll share that is very poignant here. But attitude's everything. It's what you've got. Attitude is a choice. Choose wisely. So we can choose to be angry. We can choose to be happy. We can choose to be healthy. Focus on being healthy. We can choose to be angry. We can choose to be mad. We can choose to be hopeless. Certainly, of course, we're going to feel sad and hopeless at times, or angry. The gamut of emotions are valid, completely valid. But have our feelings, acknowledge them, and then let's move past it and choose. Today, I'm going to focus on being positive. Just focus on today. Today, you've chosen to watch this presentation and learn some new things, or spend an hour being positive and being hopeful, and that's what we have. We have today, so let's make positive choices. If we spend too much time in our negative feelings or feeling hopeless, it sucks our energy, it drains us, and it just makes later harder. It's harder to get out of that. What I've learned, we need to summon all the positive energy we can. We need to summon all the strength we can to fight the battle with cancer and to go through the journey thriving. And so that's what my goal is, to support everybody to do the best that they can through cancer diagnosis and treatment and to thrive. Okay, so do we want to make some positive choices in our attitude? In what areas of your life do you want to make some positive choices? Be honest. Do you, what are the areas that you think that if you make some changes, they will positively impact your happiness and your journey through cancer? These are some we're going to talk about today. What about our physical life, our emotional life? What about the life around us, the life outside of us? So even though we've been diagnosed with cancer, these are still choices that we can make. Let's look at things that we can do to have a healthy emotional attitude. Find some joy in our daily life. We have to work at this, but do it every day. Choose joy every day. Adopt a fighting attitude. Be hopeful. If you're feeling down, wear something bright. Put on upbeat music. Pick a mantra that inspires you and gives you strength to fight. Fake it till you make it. I know a lot of days we're not feeling great. Maybe today you're not feeling great, but you got up, you turned the video on, you're watching this presentation, and you are building your muscle, emotional, mental memory to be more positive. That's what fake it till you make it means. Pick a rally song. Develop a meditation practice. Pray. Whatever works for you, these are things that can help support us to have a positive emotional attitude. When I was newly diagnosed with breast cancer, I was in a yoga class one day, and my yoga instructor is profound, inspiring. He's quite colorful at times in his language. And he was retelling us a story about a boy who had suffered great tragedies and losses. And this boy, had it really bad. He was in a war-torn area, and his parents had been killed. He was outside one day, and a raid happened, and a grenade got him. It severely damaged one of his legs. And the boy is sitting out here through all of these experiences and setbacks. He said to himself, I can beat this. I can beat this. I can beat this. As he hobbled his way to safety and lived to tell this story. That day, my instructor motivated the class while we're doing whatever poses and exercises we were doing at that moment. He motivated us to say, if you just got fired from your job, it's not the end of the world. Get up and say, I can beat this. If your spouse just left you, that doesn't mean you're unlovable. Get up and say, I can beat this. If you've been diagnosed with cancer, don't roll over and take it lying down. If you have lymphedema and you have swelling, don't sit there and just take it. There are things you can do. Say to yourself, I can beat this. My instructor did not know that I had recently been diagnosed with cancer. And even though I had known him for years and been in his class for years, and we knew each other, I had not shared that at that point. When he shared this that day in the yoga class. And it's amazing how, the right message, the poignant messages come to us at the right time. The things we need to hear present themselves to us. And that day, his story and that boy gave me the strength to try to develop a framework within my internal body of I can beat this. And here I am. I finished my chemo treatment 4 months ago. My hair used to not look anything like this. I finished my radiation 2 months ago. I'm here, and I adopted that attitude, and I want to share that with you guys today. And listen, you can use those words. You can take this and have this be your mantra. I can beat this. Or you can choose any words you want. whatever is going to give you that strength that you need to fight your journey, those are the words you want to take, okay? Write them down now. But use these words if this story helps you. When I need emotional, pick me up, I want to say to myself, I can beat this. I want to remember these stories. Again, going through the diagnosis and the treatment is going to change you. I have a friend who has to live with metastatic breast cancer. And she, holding her head up high, says, this is my new normal. And this friend loved her life the way it was. This is not easy to get up and smile and go, okay, I'm going to have to live with this. But she uses this phrase, new normal, as a way to teach herself to be, this is my life. I can still love my life. I can still have, as long as I'm here, breathing until it's done, I'm here and I'm going to love my life. I'm going to teach myself with this new normal to love my life. And that friend has inspired me, and I'd like to share that and hopefully inspire others with her story. Another thing, I was walking through my house one day and I was feeling real glum, feeling down, and I have a child, a 10-year-old in the house, and knew that I did not have wasn't going to afford myself the opportunity to just sit there and feel bad for myself and wallow in that. So all of a sudden, I remember this song, You Gotta Be, by Des'ree, Des'ree. Anyways, I looked it up on Google Play, bought the song, and blasted it on the radio. And her words, try to keep your head up to the sky, were so powerful. It gave me strength and energy to keep fighting that day. It took me out of my glum mood, and I had that joy, and it was real. And my daughter felt the joy. There was dancing and laughter in the house. So, you can use that song. I'm sure she'd appreciate you downloading it from Google Play or in iTunes. But pick a rally song for yourself. Pick a mantra for yourself. What music has always helped you to feel upbeat? Something I've talked about recently in some motivational videos I'm doing is about stroking animals. For those who have animals, this may sound like common sense, but maybe it's nice to have a reminder. When we pet our animals, it lowers our blood pressure. If you live alone and you have a pet, if you love your pet dearly and you hold and hug your pet, that could release the cuddle hormone in your brain. So I think animals are a great support for us emotionally. Anyways, find your ways to find joy. Get outside. Breathe fresh air if you can. Get outside. Take a deep breath. If you would now, pause your video for a couple minutes, and then I'd like you to write down 3 things that you would like to do to have a healthy emotional attitude. 3 things. Maybe I've mentioned them. Maybe something else that came to mind that you've thought of that you want to do. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So, our thoughts are very powerful. Let's look at ways that we can have a positive physical attitude. It's very helpful to be in as good a shape as possible when you begin treatments. Whatever that is for you. it doesn't matter what your routine, exercise routine has been or has not been. It doesn't matter what your lifestyle has been. Wherever you are, start where you're at and take steps forward. Cancer treatment for most people is a marathon. And through that marathon, it takes a toll on your body. So eat as healthy as you can. Move yourself as much as you can. Any practices you do here in all activities you take will be will be beneficial to you through your journey. From wherever you are now, take incremental steps forward, even if they're baby steps. If you've been sitting down watching television for a long time, 5 times a day, get up and take a few more steps. If you'd go walking once a week in your neighborhood on Sundays, go walking 3 times a week. Then move that to 5 times a week. Then move it to every day. These are incremental steps over time. And it's giving you something else to focus on. Something besides the symptoms. We're focusing on something we can do. But don't baby yourself or your body. Trust it and push it. Because cancer's trying to fight you. Your treatments are trying to fight you. Your body is strong. Push it positively. Connect with your body. Notice your body. Try to pay attention when you're feeling things in your body. If you don't like your hair color, if you have hair, change it. Why not? Give yourself permission to enjoy your body. Strengthen yourself, exercise, walk. When you feel tired, get up and move. When you feel sick to your stomach, get up and move. I know it sounds contrary. When I was going through chemo, my nutritionist had me walking or exercising 3 times a day for 10 minutes. And then right afterward, I have to take this protein shake and I put stuff in it. And it wasn't easy. I had to plan for this. I had to have these supplies at my house, and then I had to get them to work. And I would talk to friends even, and they'd say, well, how do you do that at work? And I'm like, what do you mean? I have to go do it. So whether I'd go outside and go walk for 10 minutes, I told some of the people I was close to, hey, around lunchtime, I've got to take 10 minutes. I've got to do this for myself. I could close my door and pull the blinds down. I could exercise like in my little space. I was able to do that. But you can find the ways that work for you. Any case, it wasn't easy. But I did it the whole time. And through my cancer treatment, there was a time to rest. I didn't focus on how it was killing my body. I focused on what I could do. And I trusted my nutritionist. And this is what he suggested. And I also found that in my experience, like going through chemotherapy, when early on in the treatment, receiving the chemo, and you get sleepy or you get, the feelings in your stomach, watch everybody in the infusion room going to sleep, I'd get up and I'd start moving around. And you know what? Then I felt better. The nausea went away. I was less tired. In my experience, rest was not a friend. So if you give in to the tiredness and nausea, then that's what you're going to have. I'm not a medical doctor. This was my experience. But if you fight then, and you get up and you move, it goes away. You don't think about it. So keep in mind, I mentioned it earlier, that which we focus on becomes our reality. So instead of we notice it, and then we get up and we do something about it. Do you choose healthy? Do you choose sick? Do you choose happy or sad? Do you choose supported and lucky or not supported and unlucky? That which we focus on becomes our reality. Remember a few slides ago, choose wisely. Like it or not, here we are. We have this diagnosis. We have cancer. So how do we want to live the time that we have? This is our choice. And we're only victims if we allow ourselves to be victims. So my wish for you is to not look at yourself as a victim, to look at yourself as powerful with lots of choices. If you would, go ahead and pause your video now and take a few minutes to write down 3 things that you would like to do to have a healthy physical attitude. Practices that you think will help you. I can do it. I can't do it. Look at that. The only difference is this T. What do we choose? What about support? Many of you may feel that you already have support, but let's strengthen it. Many, maybe not. Let's strengthen what we do have. So as humans, as a species, we're social animals, okay? Even if we're introverts, human beings are social creatures. Be around positive people. If there are people you're spending time with that are negative and that are feeling sorry with you and focusing on illness or symptoms, please take care of yourself and spend some time around people who are positive. Create positive, supportive routines. I was mentioning earlier, if you walk once a week, start walking 3 days a week. Give yourself a routine. Maybe you have a routine with your lymphatic drainage massage that you do at a certain time in the morning when you're getting ready or after the shower, or maybe you have a mindfulness practice that you start your day with every day. Or, like I had my exercise routines 3 times a day. And, I would get creative with these things. Like, I'd even make, like, cleaning the house exercise, like doing vacuuming. I'd also take the dog out. The dog got walked a lot more. And the dog helped me build some positive habits. In that, listen to songs or music that make you feel strong. Of course, this is not to say that you're not going to be sad and feel down at times. And you want to honor those moments and have that time. Then you want to get back and focus on being positive and put the bulk of your energy there. Read things that inspire you. Watch shows that keep you thinking productively. Avoid negative people. There's really, you're dealing with enough. You don't need any more negativity. Reach out to somebody that you can talk to, and share what you can so that you can express it out of your body and so that you're not containing it in. And also ask for help. It's hard to do, especially for independent, strong people. I know, I'm one of those. But we're not meant to get through this life alone completely. And now's a chance. Remember I said we're going to deepen, we're going to add connections, and we're going to deepen them. Practice asking for help. It's okay. People also want to help. It helps them feel good. But even if you're an introvert or live alone, now's the time to practice this. To practice extending yourself. Also think about, do you have the right doctors in our support in our life around us? Do you have the right doctors? Do you need a lymphedema therapist? Do you need a nutritionist? What supports are around you? So this is a good time again to pause the video for a couple minutes and write down 3 supportive actions or practices that you would like that will help you thrive in your diagnosis and journey with cancer. So, the power of attitude. Oprah Winfrey said, "The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change their future by merely changing their mental attitude. It's in your control. That's powerful. So, one more thing, I've said it. Pay attention to what we're focusing on daily, because what we focus on becomes our reality. That which we focus on becomes our reality and our experience. To summarize, it would be helpful to review what you've written on your mind map. Remind yourself of the attitudes that you want. The mind map that I was illustrating and hope you were recording for yourself is your reminder, your tool to help you stay focused with your intention to be to lessen your burden and journey with cancer, and to improve to improve your experience. Incorporate each week another action that you can take that's positive emotionally for you, that's positive physically for you. If you walked 5 minutes, if you were walking 5 minutes, after a few days, a week, bump that up to 7 minutes. And increase support, okay? You had help in these areas, or you talked with your doctor about XYZ. Now go ahead and make some calls out to some professionals who may be able to support you. Go pick up a book, check out a book from the library, download electronically a book on the library, get a library membership wherever you're at, and hopefully that library has an online system and you can download books that are positive, something that will help you feel like The Power of Now, maybe. Could be a very positive book. Oprah Winfrey is a great resource. But you can also email me about that, and I'll bring some to you if you'd like, some resources and books to download. Each day, practice. So we're not only reviewing it and reminding ourselves, we're incorporating more actions each week, and we're also practicing every day. We're trying to remind ourselves to practice healthy emotional, physical, and supportive attitudes and behaviors. And then check yourself. Be honest with yourself. I mean, this is your experience, right? Finally, which something my nutritionist had told me, because it was like, okay, do this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, and what else? What do you have for me? He's like, listen, focus on what you can do. Focus on doing these things. Do not focus on your symptoms. So whenever I'd start feeling bad and I'd start feeling negative, I'd go, okay, don't focus on the symptoms. I'd remind myself, don't focus on the symptoms. Don't focus on the symptoms. And I'd have to do that, many, many times. But as an action plan for you, I'd like to encourage you to not focus on your symptoms. Focus on what you can do. And then take some action. If your stomach is starting to hurt, get up and walk. If you're feeling lonely, text your friend, call your friend, pet your dog. So, thank you for participating in this workshop today. I'm grateful that you have allowed me this opportunity to come into your life, and that you're willing to try some positive actions. If you would like to, if you'd like to contact me about coaching, send me an email. I've also got a blog and resources posted on my website that are there for you. I'm sending positive, healthy wishes your way. But if you need to reach me, this is how. Stay positive. You can do this. Thank you.